Hi everyone, today's video is something that I've been obsessed with watching lately, and I've done one before, but I just decided to do one again, and it is a makeup inventory. So this is where you go through your entire collection and count up every single item you have. And I have done one in 2015, 2016, and 2017, all at the beginning of the year, but I wanted to do like a mid-year update for 2017. So I'll tell you what I had last year and what I have this year. And something I've added for this one is goals. So I've said many times, I do a lot of project pans. I love doing project pans. I do not do project pans in the hopes of becoming a minimalist makeup collection, and my goals will reflect that. I'm not trying to have one eyeshadow palette. I love eyeshadow. I love having lots of color and playing with things. And so I'm not trying to have a minimalist collection, but what I have now is a little much. And you'll see that with these numbers, trust me. I was talking to Cherish from Pretty Pistol 86, and she's like, girl, you're doing a lot of projects. And I'm like, honey, just wait till my inventory and you'll be like, oh, you need to do 10 million projects a day. Like, just wipe your face off, put on more makeup, and wipe your face off and put on more makeup. It's a lot. So let's get into it, and then at the very end we're going to do some like overall goals and stuff, but if you don't care about that, we're just going to do numbers. Now I'm not going to show you any products, but if you want to see a makeup collection, I posted one in January, so I'll link that video down below so you can see like how it's all stored and what all I have. My Excel spreadsheet is right here, so if I look down there, that's why you probably could have figured that out. Face primers. Now, I want to make it very clear that I count every single item in my collection. That includes little mini samples. So like this face primer, I counted that as one. I don't differentiate. I also counted like, oh, it's kind of stuck. This little guy, this little card, that counts. That counts as one. I count everything because it's in my collection. So, I have 7 face primers as of right this second. In January of 2014, January of 2017, I had 4. And 7 is the most I've ever had since doing a inventory. I think my goal for that is about 4. I like to have different ones for different areas of my face. So that, I think that's like a decent goal, is 4. Foundations, and again, these count everything that I own that's foundation. I currently have 18, which is the most I've ever had. In January of 2017, I also had 18, so I haven't added any more since then. My goal for foundations is 3. I think that's a decent goal. Again, I don't just want one. I have, you know, some days I'm having really good skin, and some days I'm having really crappy skin, and some days I want like something dewy, and sometimes I want something matte. You know, I want to have variety. I don't want a minimalist collection, but I want one where you don't have 18 foundations. And if you watch my most recent empties video, you'll see I did throw away a $32 blush. Now, I got it in a subscription box. I didn't pay for it, but that's irrelevant. I had to throw away a $32 blush because it just went bad. And foundations go bad, y'all. So, BB creams, I have 5. In January, I only had 3. I have gotten some samples. I haven't bought any full-size ones. And the most I've ever had was in 2015. I had 6. So I'm lower than that. My goal for BB creams is just 1. BB creams kind of have one goal, one thing that they do, and I just need one of those, I think. Concealers. This is skyrocketed. I have 24 concealers, which is the most I've ever had. In January, I had 11, right? Yeah. And one of the reasons why is because I did get this concealer palette, and so this has 16 concealers. So that's one of the main reasons why it's skyrocketed, but still, it's skyrocketed. And I got that in a BoxyCharm. I didn't like choose that. So I think my goal for concealers is 3. Again, you know, under eyes, face, maybe a green one. I think that's enough. 4 powders. This has gone up as well. I have 15 powders. That's a lot. In January, I had 13, and 15 is the most I've ever owned. My goal is 3. 3. That seems doable. Blush. I got a lot. Now, I wanted to let you know, I did go through all of my like face palettes. Like this is the Balm Jovi palette. I counted that blush. For my blush palettes, this is the Paula's Choice one, I count all 4 of these blushes. So I did count each individual blush. And this is also counting my cream products. I try to keep as few categories as possible, because I think when you start subdividing, like, oh, let me do my cream blushes and then kind of my gelée blushes and then my shimmery blushes and my matte blushes, and you keep subdividing, it's really easy to make it seem like you have a lot less than you do. And I'm not like judging people, I'm just saying it's a lot easier to kind of trick yourself and be like, oh, I don't have that much, and then you're like, oh, actually that's still a heck of a lot of blushes. For blushes, I have 71 blushes. That's a heck of a lot. Y'all, can we just talk about this highlight on my shoulders? Because I'm super feeling it right now. Just want you to know. 71 blushes is a heck of a lot. My goal for blushes is 10. I know what I like for the most part now, and so I think 10 is enough. Now these goals are what I think. Obviously, I might get down to 10 and be like, I still have too many blushes. I can get rid of some of that. And I might have 15 and be like, I love all of these. These all are unique. I don't want to, you know. So I just don't know. We'll see what happens. For bronzer, oh, and 71 blushes is the most I've ever had. I had 55 in January. That's gone up. I did get some things, this is gonna sound, I don't want to make this sound bad, because I'm so incredibly grateful. One of my subscribers, Erica Elove, she sent me a obnoxiously huge box of makeup, and so some of these items, especially like my lip products, one of the reasons why they run up is because of that. And again, I'm still in awe. Like, I see things like this palette came in that, and I see this palette, I'm just like, someone sent this to me. Like, one of my subscribers, Erica, like, she said, oh, I think Becky needs this, and chose to send it to me, and it just means a lot to me. So that's one of the reasons. And I bought stuff. Hello, if you watch my channels, I'll leave my haul playlist down below too. I'm not ashamed, I buy things. So bronzer, I have 29 of those. That's a lot of bronzer. I think that's too many bronzers. I don't really love bronzer. In January, I had 23, and my goal is about 2. I think 2 is fair. Highlighter. My highlighters doubled since January. Doubled, as in times 2. I currently have 46 highlighters. And I'm dramatic. It didn't quite double. In January, I had 24. So it doubled minus 2. So that's a lot. I think my goal is about 7, because highlighters can be different colors. But I do, 7 is kind of what I'm thinking, but I also know what I like with highlighters. You know, it's kind of like you know, when you, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say everybody. When I first started my YouTube channel, I would go to the drugstore and go to the sale section and just be like, let me just take one of all of these. And I wasn't selective in what I was buying. And that's one of the reasons why I do this inventory and why I've decided to set goals this time, is because I need to be selective. I don't just need to keep buying things, because obviously your girl's got enough. Your girl's got enough for you and you and you and you and your whole families and my whole family. So I think my goal is 7. I think I said that. Y'all, let's just talk about the heat for a second. Eye primers, I have 8, which is the most I've ever had. Last January, I had 7, so I've gone up by 1. My goal for that is 2, a regular eyeshadow primer and a glitter primer. That just makes sense to me. Cream eyeshadows. I love cream eyeshadows. I think they give a really unique look, and I think they're beautiful. Currently, I have 41 cream eyeshadows. And I did want to say also, I can't remember, I think I did this before, but I might be wrong. I did count this as 2 separate cream eyeshadows, just to clarify that. I don't know if I did that before. I just don't know, but I did this time. I think my goal for that is 15, which 15 is still a lot, but I love them, and I think they really are necessary, and they give a really unique look, and I just think they're great. Pigments. Oh, did I tell you? I need to start telling. January, I had 33. And 41 is the most I've ever had. Pigments, I've gone up a bit. I have 33 pigments, and part of that is because I bought the 2 Geek Chic pigment sets, and I love them. In January, I had 18, so that's a lot. My goal for pigments is 20 because pigments are beautiful, and I count glitters with pigments as well. You know, they're just beautiful, and they give you such a unique look, and they can be a lot more different than an eyeshadow. You know what I'm saying? I want to have unique pigments. I don't want to have a pigment that's like, okay, you have a white pigment. Well, here's a white eyeshadow. You get the same look. I want unique pigments. Single eyeshadows, I have 46 currently. In January, I had 34. So I've gone up for that. I think my goal for that is 10. And very similarly to pigments, I don't reach for single eyeshadows near as much as I reach for a palette. So, you know, I want a single eyeshadow that, like, it's unique and beautiful and just like, wow, I don't have that anywhere else. I need this single eyeshadow. So, 10. For liquid/gel eyeliners, I have 17, which is the most I've ever had. In January, I had 14. So that's just gone up a smidgen. I think my goal for that is 3. And that might, 3 is what I'm thinking, but I kind of like the idea of colored winged liners, so maybe more. But 3 is what I'm thinking for now. Again, we'll see what happens. You know, I might end up getting down to 5 and have 5 different colors and want to keep all 5. Mascara, I have 22. In January, I had 20. Now, the most I've ever had is 2015, and I had 26 then. So I am lower than I have been before. And one thing that I don't document, but I'm very proud of, is I only have 3 open. So I used to have like 10 open. So I only have 3 open, and the rest I just have, because you get mascaras with everything. My goal for mascara is 3. There you go. Eyeliners. I have a heck of a lot of eyeliners. I have 54 eyeliners. In January, I had 46. 54 is the most I've ever had. My goal for eyeliners is 10. Similar to like gel eyeliners, I want to be able to have different colors and maybe put them on the lower lash line and just play with makeup, because that's what I do with makeup, is play with it because I love it. It makes me happy. So 10. Eyebrow products, again, not making excuses, but just so you can kind of know. One of the reasons why this has gone up so much is I did get this trio. That's 3 eyebrow products right there. But I have 15. In January, I only had 4. 15 is the most I've ever had. And my goal is to have 2. I think 2 is fair. Eyeshadow palettes. Now, in January, I counted all of my duos, trios, quads, and palettes. I counted them all together. So in January, for all of them, I had 78. Now for eyeshadow palettes, which is 5 or more eyeshadows in one container, I have 54. My goal for that is 20. Because again, I'm not trying to have a minimalist makeup collection. I want to have a lot to play with. 20 still seems like a little bit of a lot, but that's kind of the goal. That's a heck of a lot less than 54. And so I did separate out duos, trios, and quads. I have 29 of those. So if you add them together, that's a what? A 3 carry 1. That's 83, from 78 to 83. But I have 29 duos, trios, and quads, and I'd like to have 0. I don't reach for them. The only exception I might make for something like that, let me grab one. I do have this MAC. I did count this as a quad because that's what it's in. I don't count them as a single shadow. You know, I did choose all of these, so maybe this is a quad. I don't know. I also have a ColourPop eye palette, and that is a palette because there's 5 in there, just to clarify. So I don't want to have any of those. I want to go from 29 to 0. So I counted the number of actual eyeshadows. So not including singles, but in my duos, trios, and quads and palettes, the number of individual shadows. So like my full spectrum palette is counted for 21. A duo counted for 2, obviously. I have a total of 930 eyeshadows. So that's a lot. Quite a bit. My goal is 200. I think that's a big narrowing it down. Because I still want options. I still want to be able to have a copper and green and yellow and gray look if I want it. You know? I still want to be able to play. So that's a lot. Lip treatments, I have gone down on this. In January I had 12 and now I have 10 in July. My goal for that is 3. Lip liners, I went up. In January I had 5 and now I have 8. My goal for that is 5. You know, different. I really love a lip liner. I love the way it looks. Lip gloss. Y'all, my lip treatment, like my lip products skyrocketed. And one of the reasons is because I did buy some collections. Y'all know that. But in January I had 51. I currently have 89, which is the most I've ever owned. And I would like to have 10 lip glosses. I don't love lip glosses that much. For lipsticks, I had 112 in January. I currently have 159. I would like to have 25. That's a good assortment to me. Nail polish. In January, I had 149. I currently have 151, which is not the most I've ever had. In 2015, I had 152. Look at that. My goal for that is 40 because I love nail polish. I want to be able to have a lot of different things on my nails. I don't want to have 3 nail polishes and be like, okay, do you want to have a red nail, a black nail, or a white nail today? No. For setting sprays, in January I have 1. Now I have 5. I think I only need 1 of those. I don't know why I have 5. Maybe 2 if I have like a backup, but I don't need 5. Body sprays. This is something I started in January. And I had 11 then, and now I have 15. I think I haven't bought any body sprays, and I've actually used one up. So what I think I did is I think I counted things as perfumes in January that now I counted as body sprays. But, you know, I decided to count things like this from Victoria's Secret. This is not a perfume. This is a body spray. So, I have 15 now. And for perfumes, and I did include the little baby mini samplers. I included everything that's a perfume that I own. I had 31 in January, and I still have 31. And then I did, and my goal for body spray is 0. I don't really like them. They don't last long enough. I don't need them. For perfume, I have 10. Because you want to smell different. 10 might be a little much, but that's what I'm thinking. And I added 1 new item this year, or this inventory, and that's number of items I have pan on. Because, you know, that kind of shows that you're at least using things up. And for that, I have 8. So that's exciting. I don't have a goal for that because I don't necessarily want to have a ton of items with pans. So, yeah. So, I have these really lofty goals. I'm going to say at this point, I don't feel comfortable decluttering. I just don't. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to declutter my makeup. I love my makeup. It makes me happy. Maybe one day I'll be there, but not yet. So this is just going to be through usage. I don't know how I'm going to use up 730 eyeshadows. I don't really know how it's going to happen. But that's why I do a bunch of project pans. I don't do makeup on other people that often. I do sometimes. That helps, kind of. But I'm not a makeup artist. And I think the reason I've been so hesitant to like include goals before. Because I do YouTube and I love YouTube. Love it. I don't plan on quitting YouTube anytime soon. But I feel like you compare yourself to larger YouTubers. And maybe even if you don't do YouTube, if you have an Instagram, or maybe if you're just a normal person, you're like, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone. Let's just say Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill, she's got 4 million eyeshadow palettes. Well, yeah, well, she got sent 3,000,008 of those, you know, and this is her job. And I'm not hating on Jaclyn Hill or hating on PR, and I'm not trying to make a statement. I'm just saying it's a lot easier to collect things when you get sent stuff. Now, again, Erica sent me that amazingly huge package, and I will forever be grateful. But as a general rule, I don't get sent things. Not very often at all. Influencer occasionally. Erica is a subscriber who sent me things. But it's not like I'm getting sent things from brands. If that was the case, these goals might be different because I'm not paying for stuff. And that's just the truth. That might sound terrible, but that's the truth. You can have a lot more when you're not paying for stuff. Again, I'm not hating on brands or PR. But, you know, I mean, if I had gotten sent, I don't know, this eyeshadow palette instead of having to buy it, well, I could have used that $55, even though I didn't pay $55 for it. But, you know, I could have used that money and spent it on something else. Just it's how it works. So, for the place that I'm in at my channel, I think I need goals because I don't think I need to keep spending. I've also decided I want to buy, I have pretty much everything I need. In case these numbers pretty much prove that. They show that I don't need anything else. They show that, oh, this new eyeshadow palette came out and I really like it. It makes me happy. All right, girl. You have 54 eyeshadow palettes. Do you really think there's a shade in there you don't already own? And on top of those 54 eyeshadow palettes, let's not forget the 46 single eyeshadows and the 33 pigments. You know, let's not forget about those things as well. So, I've kind of already started this, and maybe you've noticed, but I want to buy things that inspire me. The kind of things that you just want. For example, most recently, this guy. The Loca Beauty and the Beast collection. I love makeup. I love Disney. Having that, now, I like this a lot. I've made a whole review of this. Don't get me wrong. But this could be really bad and I'd still be happy I owned it. And maybe that's really vain. And maybe that's kind of saying I just want to buy things for cute names and packaging. And that's not totally true, but it kind of is. I'm going to claim that. I want to buy things that I'm going to be happy to own because it's something that I know that if I don't, I'll be like, man, I wish I would have bought that. Man, I want that in my collection. So that's kind of what I'm going to try to do from now on when it comes to purchasing makeup. I'm still going to purchase makeup. I'll always be purchasing makeup because I love it. And it makes me happy. And I am a 24-year-old girl who is single. Well, I have a boyfriend, but I'm not married. And I don't have any children. I have my 2 dogs and that's it. And right now I can spend money the way I want to. I don't have to be like, sorry, 3-year-old Johnny. Love ya, mean it, but you don't get any food tonight because look at mama's pretty makeup. I'm not there. You know, when I eventually have children, it'll be a different story. But that's not my life right now. Right now, I'm a 24-year-old single lady who works 3 jobs and works my butt off and is getting a master's degree. And if I want to buy some makeup, I'm going to buy some makeup. It's just how I feel about it. So, this was a super long video. Sorry about that. I just wanted to talk to y'all. I just wanted to talk to you and let you know my feelings and let you know how much makeup I own because it's heck of a lot. So, that's where I am right now. If you have one of these videos, please let me know because I have been searching YouTube and I've watched the whole 3 first pages of searches and I can't find any more. So, I love these videos. This is why you will continue to see project pans on my channel. I enjoy project panning. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a great way to use your makeup up. And I think it keeps your collection fresh. So that's how I feel about it. Yeah. That's all I have for you. Let me know any questions, requests, suggestions, comments. Always talking to you is one of my favorite things. You know that if you watch me. If you don't, welcome to my channel. I'm Becky. Kanga is my dog. This is how I feel. Yeah. Ugh. Bye.